Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting edition of Omnibros Live here on a Thursday, Manga Night. Today, we're doing a very special show. If you like solicits, I got 4 new titles for you that I think you're going to dig, but at least 2 of them. But we'll see. I'm Gio from A Week in Geekdom, and I'm joined by the very famous Omnibus collector himself. Riley, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well, thank you.
Nice. And thank you to the chat.
I know you told me the past couple weeks you've been having the camera issues. Aside from that, how have you been since I've been gone?
Hanging in there, a little stressed out. This week has been pretty rough, but happy to be here. It's late and I'm tired, so I apologize for my lack of energy for this stream. I've been streaming all week on this channel.
It's okay.
Monday, Wednesday.
We can try to make this one a nice, quick show and get you some rest because I'm still a little jet lagged myself.
Well, you were like international style.
I was in Kenya for 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
Can you believe it? As my wife has been saying it.
Nice. I love it. Riley, congrats on your 50K. Congrats.
Thank you. More blue manga will be part of my celebration.
Please, no. Hey, you're in the blue area of the background, so that's appropriate.
I felt like this was a Pokemon thing or something with the background when I jumped on.
I like this because if we have like a debate show or something, it can be like red versus blue or something like that. Tolga, thank you for joining, buddy. Today, before we get on to the main topic, I want to remind you that this episode is brought to you by our wonderful sponsor. That's InStockTrades.com, your home for all things collected editions, IST, whether you want manga, omnibus, hardcovers, trade paperbacks, all that fun stuff. You get it at InStockTrades.com. Fantastic deals, up to 50 to even 60% off on your collected editions. Loyalty discounts, tack on an extra 2% to that. If you make an order worth of $50 or more, you get free shipping. Fantastic customer service, wonderful packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. Also, let me remind you that at the end of the month, we're going to have our $50 gift card giveaway open to international waters. Anybody can participate. Just got to tune in and watch that show and participate. That's on the 31st, last Monday. All of this is courtesy and brought to you by InStockTrades.com, the official sponsor of Omnibros Live and the Omnibus Collectors Network. All right. Sayan, thank you for joining. Thank you so much. Tonight is a little bit unorthodox. You guys want to throw some questions for us? Feel right at home. You're chilling with us. Ask us about anything you want manga related. But I thought it'd be pretty fun to look at some 7C's solicits, because that's always fun. They send them to my email. I have tons of emails here from them. I keep forgetting to delete them. So now I'm looking through my email inbox, and there is a little bit for everybody. 4 solid announcements for January that I think some people are going to dig. Let me get all the links here. So 7C's has kind of been turning their ship around, and it's no longer about the fan servicey stuff. They seem to be getting more into the cooler stuff. Because I was not expecting these batch of announcements, to be honest.
Is the big one in there, like the deluxe edition one? Yeah, that's the one that
I'm going to save that for last.
Okay. All right, cool.
Let's start with Airprint or Airship, not Airprint. Oh my God. Airship. Sorry, it's late. Oh, a teat. I got you. We can answer that in a bit. What is the worst manga you've read? Give me a second. Let's get this out of the way. The first one that we're going to talk about is from the Airship imprint. Seven Seas licenses Mado Nozaki's Titan novel. Excited to announce through its Airship light novel imprint the license acquisition of the novel Titan by Mado Nozaki. A human is recruited to be the therapist for a powerful AI in this new science fiction tale by the writer of Babylon and Hello World. In the distant future, society has all but eliminated the need for a human workforce, thanks to an all powerful AI network known collectively as Titan. Humanity is now free to indulge in an era of unprecedented peace and prosperity, but one day, hobbyist psychologist Seika Naisho gets a job offer from a mysterious man by the name of Narain, oh my god, Srivastava. I hope I said that right. One of only a handful of people in the entire world who is still traditionally employed. He wishes to enlist Seika's expertise in the wake of a sudden and inexplicable malfunction in the AI network as a therapist for Titan itself. This single large trim edition book will come out in September at a retail price of $15. I don't read a lot of light novels, but sounds pretty neat. So there's that. Okay, so Simeon, thank you for joining, buddy. Atit is asking, what is the worst manga you've ever read? Riley, why don't you go first? What's the worst manga you've ever read?
The first manga I ever dropped was Legends, which is a 4-volume title under the Shonen Jump banner from like 2004, 2005, somewhere around there. I dropped it after volume 1, but of course, in collecting all the Shonen Jump stuff, I repurchased it. It's only 4 volumes, so I wasn't too upset because it was also like $2 a volume on eBay. But I still haven't gotten to do this, but I also wanted to like reread it just so I could see like if it was still as bad as I remember it. It just wasn't good. I don't remember specifically what it was, but I read the first volume and I was like, this is dumb. This is boring. The most disappointing manga that I've ever read was Samurai 8 because just like coming from Kishimoto and like having grown up with Naruto, having, been since I was God, it was one of the first series that I was reading. I started reading it alongside One Piece back in like 2003, and following that all the way to the end, and then being like, all right, well, the ending was pretty good. It was what it was. Like, ending was not the best part of Naruto. I'll say that. But I'm like, let's see what he has up his sleeves next. And we get Samurai 8, and I'm like, cool, this sounds neat. I'm excited. I tried to read the first chapter when it first came out. Like, I tried to read it online, and I couldn't make it through the first chapter. And so I was like, when it came out physically in English, I was like, "All right, I'll try it again." And like, it was just such a slog. And I went through the whole thing because I was like, I have faith like that he could pull this around, but then it got canceled after 5 volumes. So like, yeah, that's the one where
Yeah.
I'm like, whenever people ask me, like, is there anything in the Shonen Jump collection that you just like don't like, but you still have it? And I'm like, it's that one. That's the one. I did not like that at all. I know there were people who do like it. I don't. I found it super boring and disappointing.
Yeah, I never finished. I've never finished it. It was a little bit too boring for me, but I do love the art. That's the only thing I like about that series. Something about it with the cyberpunk-ish aesthetic and the samurai thing. I dug it. But that's it.
And
As
that made me hope that it was going to be good. Was like the aesthetic behind it is neat. Like I think it's
yeah,
cool. Sci-fi samurai stuff, like it's pretty cool looking. And then it was just really boring.
yeah, that is unfortunate. Mine would be. Give me a second here while I get a picture for it. The hell, where is it? My pick would be this thing. Come on, come on. Hang in there, guys. There we go. It's a little tiny, but whatever. I don't care about the series. No Game, No Life. I never watched the anime, and I got into the manga, and I was just not feeling it whatsoever. From the random creepy fan service to like the art was a little bit too poppin' for me. Like I like color, but not like this. It was just rough. I can't recommend No Game No Life, either the anime or the manga. Just not for me at all. Fun fact: somebody gifted me a copy of the manga, and I kind of gave it away. I rarely do that. I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I don't like this. Have you? You haven't read No Game No Life, right?
No, I have not.
Don't bother. It's terrible. It's one of those isekai where, I mean, they get sucked into this world, and it's all like board game inspired and video games and stuff, and like
Yeah.
it's a brother and sister duo, but she's the girl's like a little over sexualized at times, and it's pretty not disturbing, pretty distracting because it's a young character, and I'm like, what are we aiming for here? It's a brother and sister duel. Come on now, guys, settle down. So yeah, that's heat. No Game, No Life for me. Is there any chance that Hunter x Hunter gets reprinted, same or different format? It has been getting reprinted because when I finally decided to get the first book, I have a 2021 edition, and it is the 12th printing of Hunter x Hunter. I kid you not. That
Yeah,
series has been
there's
printed 12 times.
my brother-in-law recently has gotten more into purchasing manga. Like he's been reading manga for forever. But he started to build a physical collection, and one of the series that he wanted to add to the collection was Hunter x Hunter, and he'll let me know like anytime he's collecting something. And a few months ago, he had gotten the first several volume or however many volumes were available, and then more recently he's like, oh, they just restocked on this and this. So yeah, they've been reprinting it. They're getting it out whenever they can.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, thank you for reminding me. Speaking of reprints, uh, brain function right. Okay. Viz Media on Twitter, they posted an image of the latest volume of Real, and everybody just went crazy, like, "Oh, where's the Slam Dunk reprints? Where's the Slam Dunk reprints?" And they had to answer, and I do have the answer for it on my Twitter, and I wanted to read it off on this podcast because I know not everybody's into the whole social media thing, and I think it's pretty important for all you manga collectors out there. Scrolling here. I tweet a lot, guys. Give me a second. I do apologize. Uh, Basically saying there are delays. There's a list. It's a queue list of books, and some are higher priority than others. So you just gotta chill and wait. Basically,
That's what they said.
yeah. Damn it.
Well,
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
feel like
Go
a
ahead.
lot of people don't understand, like I've seen people make videos and stuff like and posts and stuff where they're like, why don't they just keep these things in print? And like if you think down to base level, like there's a legitimate limit to how much can physically be printed in a given amount of time. Like um whatever the like I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. Like there are machines, right, that do this. A machine has a limit to how much it can produce in a day. Like you can't, there's only 24 hours in a day, there's only 7 days in a week. You can't produce more than is physically possible. So let's say that they are like pushing it to the limit with like the multiple printers that they, because they have printers in Canada, they have printers in the US, probably in other countries as well. But like let's just say that they're having them working like completely to their limit. There is a limit to how much can happen. And with how many series that they put out regularly, they have to prioritize new releases because the new releases have to come out.
Mhm.
Reprints, there's probably a limit to how many series and how many units they can reprint in a given amount of time. And, there's also a limit to the amount of, because once you reach the limit of the amount of units that you can print, you kind of also reach the limit of your profit. Like you're only going to make X amount of money from those things. So like it would be a little bit before they'd be able to even get new printers and stuff to
Yeah.
expand because of reaching those types of limits and stuff. So like, and that's just one aspect of it. There's supply issues. There's the cost of lumber, and which therefore the cost of paper. There's issues with that. Supply with
Mhm.
paper, just everything is an issue right now, and a lot of people just they condense it down to the idea of like, and I'm not saying that anyone here is doing that, but like they pull it all down because this is what I've seen. Like people saying like, I don't understand why they don't keep this in print. Like, why don't they have volume one of this series available readily? Because they just physically can't. Like they
Yeah.
physically
They
can't do
want
it.
to. Trust me,
Yeah.
they want to, but they can't. Here you can see the answer that they tweeted out. We're trying to restock things as fast as possible, but the graphic books industry is still facing supply issues worldwide. Hang tight.
And they're
So
well aware. Like they know. They're not dumb. That's like, you're being told by people, I have money that I want to give you. It's not like they're sitting there like, well, I'm not gonna take your money. They know. If they
mhm.
have the license, then there's a desire. There's a desire to
Yeah.
take it back to print.
Simeon says also one of the biggest cost points in material products is storage of the goods. So the more they have in print and unsold, the more storage they need to pay for. There is also labor shortages in paper mills. It's a pretty wicked situation at the moment. Plus, manga is at an all-time high popularity worldwide. So just got to be patient, unfortunately.
This is related, but I've also seen like I posted one time on my channel about like um the I posted at one point one of the volumes that I needed for the rest of the Shonen Jump collection, and I said like that one I'm
Yeah.
not terribly worried about because it's listed as like expected available at a certain date. And someone like tried to gum me up about that and say like, I can't believe you actually pay attention to those dates or something like that. The dates are also like people watching us here, most people are also collectors of comics and stuff and know that shit from like Marvel has been getting pushed back by months at a time. These are
Yeah.
like estimated dates. So you go on to like um what the hell websites like Barnes and Noble or Books a Million where they give you an
Looks million.
estimated this book will be available, is set to be available February of 2022. That's an estimate. Like that's an estimate that might not be hit. So like people take that stuff as if it's law, and if it doesn't get hit, then they take it out on like the retailer. I'm not saying everyone. Again, like I'm people being individuals that I've seen. There's a lot of people who like I just assume that they're like 14 years old when they say this kind of stuff, like, and assume
Yeah.
that they're not actually like familiar with how the world works in any type of way, in any type of facet. Um, but yeah, it's it is what it is, and usually like around those dates, things pop up. Like I just go to Write Stuff and I told them to email me when it's available. I never buy it beforehand because I don't want to sit there with my thumb up my butt waiting for a year for something to get available. But like it's multiple times I've had them email me like just randomly be like, hey, that volume of this series is available, and so I'd place an order real quick.
Yeah. Funny thing, Saiyan says, few volumes I need to complete my Slam Dunk collection, but those are unavailable for a long time. I gifted volumes of Slam Dunk to a good friend of mine. He didn't really dig it. He's not a manga reader. And then everything went out of print. I'm like, son of a bitch, I could have kept the books.
Give
If
them
I knew
back.
you were not, bring them back. And if I knew you were not going to like them, I would have taken them. But I'm not going to do that because it's a gift. It was a birthday gift or whatever. Because he's a huge basketball fan, but that's it. He's not huge into reading manga. And I'm like, oh, damn. Because I do want to own it at some point, but I'd rather wait. Plus, anniversaries around the corner and the movie. I'll keep waiting.
Yeah, I'd love to see if they reprinted under the larger format
Yeah.
that they did.
Ultimately, them selling so much is good for the industry at large, which is good for readers in the long run. Tolga says, I saw Kurosagi Court Omnibus Volume 5 seems to come out soon. Fingers crossed.
I think it's resolicited for might be the third time now.
Yeah. Spoonful of Brody, thank you for joining. I'm curious who holds the license for Ultimate Muscle. Those volumes are going for crazy prices online.
I'm pretty sure it is still Viz that holds the license. I had a meeting with a couple of guys at Viz earlier this week, and I was talking about like what I was able to have, like if I'm making content with them, basically, like where can I stand in my home? And if I can stand, like I'm like, I'd like to stand in front of books because that makes sense. And I was like, but I need to make sure like is everything still licensed? And the only one that they like seem to mention, like make any reaction to, was when I mentioned Shaman King, and they're like, yeah, you can't have Shaman King in the background because
Okay.
that one's not licensed by them any longer.
Yeah. There you go. Interesting. Just don't go crazy one night, drunk stream and show Shaman King.
Yeah,
Like alert.
put everything.
Uh,
They also told me to make sure not to wear any like clothing with stuff on it when I do that, because like they have to get approval, and most stuff like this is not officially licensed. So I was
Best
like,
to
well, can
just
I?
go with single colored tees.
Yeah, like, can I get an approval uh for like something that I do know is licensed? They're like, it's honestly easier for you to just wear like a black t-shirt. I'm like, all right, cool.
Without getting into pandemic talk, do you guys think the book market will cool down post COVID?
There is never going to be a post-COVID. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to
Also,
be pre-COVID world and the COVID world, and that's what we're in now.
also, the book market exploded in popularity. I don't see it cooling down anytime soon because digital sales are sort of stagnant and physical book sales went up for the first time in a while. And people realized, oh, I like having the books in my hand instead of a tablet or a laptop. So I don't see them going down. I'm still waiting for the retro video game bubble to burst. I know that's not going to happen, but you know, fingers crossed it does. So I can finally buy some games I want for cheap and not have to look on eBay for like hundreds of dollars.
There's a chance because I think like I've seen other stuff has kind of plateaued, like interest for Pokemon cards peaked, and it's kind of evened out, and like cost of stuff is going down again, according to things that I've seen other people talk about. So like certain hobbies might be leveling out as far as
Yeah.
those things go. Like some hobbies
I,
maybe not, but
I still need a couple retro video games. I'm not a video game collector, sorry. But I am missing some gems for my collection. Um, I know this is not manga news, but holiday. I'm sorry, I'm tired. But Hollywood Reporter just posted news that IDW will lose the license for GI Joe and Transformers at the end of the year. I think they'll make a bid to buy it again. If not, we'll see what happens. If I were them, like GI Joe, I get it, but Transformers, I would not.
Yeah, you
lose
don't
that.
want to lose them.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a package thing though, since it's Hasbro. So maybe they keep those together. That's what I would assume.
Yeah.
Um,
My all-time favorite video is Riley's Dark Horse hardcover treatment next. I hope those all get realized. That would be a dream come true.
yeah, that there was a lot of good ones in there. There's some that I would probably add to the list now, a year down the line from that video. The IDW thing though, like I don't know if it's clarified that like that's dealing with their license is just expiring, or like because that's how it was with Diamond and DC. Like DC's deal with Diamond, they didn't end it. It was just the end of their contract. So is this like just the license is at the end of its contract and they have the option to renew it or not? That's what I haven't been paying attention to that.
IDW to lose GI Joe Transformers license at the end of 2022. The company still has a year's worth of stories planned, including a celebration of Joe's 40th anniversary.
Because I don't know if this is like similar to Dark Horse losing like Alien Predator and stuff,
Yeah.
where they knew like this was going to be going over to Marvel because of the Disney deal.
It says
They
here
billed on farewell.
the moves comes in the wake of Hollywood Reporter reporting in December that Skybound from Robert Kirkman was in talks to pick up the license from Hasbro.
Okay.
At the end of 2022, IDW will bid a fond farewell to the publication of GI Joe and Transformers comic books and graphic novels. The company said in a statement provided to THR, "We're exceedingly proud of our stewardship of these titles. 17 years with the robots in disguise." So yeah, basically they're bowing out. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna read any of this, but it looks like it's going away.
I hope Kirkman doesn't wind up writing either of those.
Oh, can you imagine? Simeon says, "I really want GI Joe Omnis." That would be pretty cool. Of the older stuff. Yep.
What? Okay, let's get back to. So, what's the next solicit? I don't know what the all four. I know what one of them was. I didn't know what the other was were.
Okay. Round two. Seven Seas Entertainment is pleased to announce the license acquisition of the manga series Imaginary by Niro Ikuhana, a gorgeously illustrated tale about childhood friends, unrequited love, and the power of imagination. Back when Tasuku, whatever, was a kid, he harbored a secret. He was in love with his friend Micah, but Micah moved away from school before he could gather his courage and confess. Now, as adults, they've reconnected as friends, and being together brings memories of their shared past rushing back. It was so easy to fantasize about wild things when they were children, but as adults, what are their fantasies now? This inventive and beautifully illustrated rom-com explores the fantastical moments hiding in the everyday and how a rich inner life can be a guide to a different future. Seven Seas will publish the manga. Volume 1 comes out in August 2022 for $14. Interesting. I should show you the cover art because I think that sells a little bit better. Give me a second here. Imaginary. Here's the cover for Imaginary Volume 1. And the cover for. I'm always down for rom-coms. I hope it's good. I'm interested to check it out. And here's the cover for the light novel, which looks super weird and kind of creepy, honestly. Robot mannequin feet and head. I don't know what's happening here. I'm afraid.
those like pictures and it's like an AI draws something?
Yeah, I've seen those.
Is what that looks like.
Oh, when they do like an AI drawing what hell means, I'm like, oh god, no.
Usually I just see like an AI drawing what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind means. And it's like gold and pink and stuff and very colorful.
Yeah. So the next one, before we go back to a little Q&A from the chat, is I know the big announcement that is coming is really cool, but this one I am super excited for. Seven Seas is delighted to announce the acquisition of the manga series Dinosaur's Sanctuary by Itaru Kinoshita. This richly detailed manga tells the story of a rookie zookeeper caretaking dinosaurs of all shapes and sizes, sure to delight dinosaur lovers of all ages. In 1946, someone discovered an island where dinosaurs had survived into the present. Through breeding and genetic manipulation, humans managed to increase their population and supercharge their popularity until, well, the unfortunate accident when people's attitudes soured on the idea of visiting dinosaurs. This story follows a rookie zookeeper who is newly hired at Enoshima Dinoland, a struggling dinosaur sanctuary, and the fascinating creatures who need specialized love and care. The first volume comes out in September of 2022 for a retail price of $14. Sign me the hell up. I need this in my life. A manga about dinosaurs? Yes, please.
It's like a Jurassic Park, Savage Land type of deal.
Look at this T-Rex. He is so happy. I love him. And they're doing like anatomically correct dinosaurs with feathers. So I saw another preview of it, and it is the correct version of the dinosaur with feathers and all that stuff. I'm all in for this. I am super excited.
I couldn't see the eye from the thumbnail. I thought it was just like an eye. I didn't notice that he was like it was like the little
sanctuary. Let's see if I can find another picture. Sanctuary manga. And this came out last year in Japan, so it's a brand spanking new manga. Oh, look at this. This is awesome. Check this out. So here's a colored page from the third or second chapter.
Got the little chicken arms.
Yep. You think I can't show that. It's from one of those websites, if you know what I mean. How about this picture? Oh, this is cute. Look at this. Sharing this. Here's the banner, and you can see baby Triceratops and Brachiosaurus over there. I'm gonna check this out.
Is this going to be a learning manga? Like, is it going to be like Cells at Work, where like you have
Cells
fun
at work, but dinos at work?
Yeah, like I wonder if it's going to like teach people about dinosaurs and stuff, because that they are trying to be anatomically correct and add the feathers and whatnot in there. It makes it seem to me like it's going to be something where they're trying to like present information and like facts about the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I think so too. Here is another cover of one of the magazines. You can see more dinos. Triceratops missing a horn. That's sad. I don't know what happened. I hope he's all right. Yeah.
I wonder what if it turns into like a typical shonen battle manga and it's like dinosaur battle, like
they have to do a tournament to get funding for the park.
That fighting game with like the dinosaurs and gorillas and stuff.
Fossil Hunters?
No, it was an arcade fighting game.
Primal Rage?
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, Primal Rage? Primal Rage, the one with the monkey and the feathered Velociraptor. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll turn into that.
That would be spectacular. Yes. So, gang, I promise you, I will get this volume and I will read it and love it and share my love of dinos because that's one of my favorite things growing up, dinosaurs. So I am excited. The dinosaur cover gives me Super Mario Bros. Live action and Jurassic Park vibe. You mean this one? This? He's so happy. I want to know why he's so happy. He's probably getting fed right and taken care of. Good for him. Good for them. Okay. Dean, thank you for joining, buddy. Congrats on 50K, Riley. Nowadays, I feel like you are more inclined towards making manga content. Is it because they bring more views compared to Marvel DC? I miss your Marvel DC contents, by the way.
I don't have as much to say about Marvel and DC stuff that other people don't say. And there was a point where like it's not the views, because if I put the focus into it, if I put the effort into those videos, then I would get those views. But there was a point like last year where uh I had my videos lined up basically, and I was talking with Omar about ideas, and almost every single idea that I had, like he'd be like, "Oh, I've done that. So and so's done that. I'm gonna do that. I've already been working on that." And I'm like, "Well, I don't want to like double dip on stuff because I've done that before. Like, do videos that other people have done, and it's just it either offers comparison from people watching it, or it offers people saying like, you just ripped off so and so's video." And so it gets to the point where I was like, my manga videos are getting a different type of response because I realized that no one else, at least that I had seen on the platform, was making content about manga in the way that I had started to do, which was to be not just giving like a review of a book, or like not just giving my analysis or thoughts or stuff, but trying to be informative and like in a lot of ways educational about the medium,
Yeah.
and share the passion that I have for that in a way that I didn't see other people doing. And even, most manga related channels, it comes down to just, here's a new book, this is my review, here's a new book, this is my review, here's my haul. And I still do that kind of stuff, but I focus more on like um providing informational context videos, like talking about discontinued series and talking about creator bibliographies and stuff, and it's stuff that again I didn't see from other people, so I was more inspired to go in that direction because of the fact that I wasn't seeing that from anyone else, and it felt like um it was my job, it was my like calling, if you will, to fill that hole in the whole YouTube
Yeah.
sphere.
Yeah.
um and there's always I talk to a bunch of creators from platforms and different sides of things, and there are a bunch of guys that I'm talking to now that are like big on other platforms trying to make it big on YouTube, who are trying to talk about comics, and I'm trying to tell them like one guy in particular, he's just getting into reading comics after being a like manga anime guy, and I'm telling him, um first I told him, because he's like, I don't want to do this and piss off comic fans, and I was like, you don't have to worry about that. Like, comic book fans are pissed off no matter what all the time.
Bingo. Thank you.
Don't even worry about it.
I was just going to say that.
And I said to him like, approach this from the angle of being completely green behind the green behind the gills, or whatever the saying is, completely green towards the comic book medium, and approach this as talking about how you, from the perspective of a manga reader, anime watcher, are diving into reading comics now, where you started, and talk about things that will help other people, kids who went to watch Spider-Man and like to read Spider-Man comics. Talk to them about your journey and how you started doing that, because that's something that like I don't see a lot of, is people like giving that perspective of like the newbie reader. And this guy like did exactly what I've been preaching about, for lack of better term, when it comes to like getting into comics, is that you can literally start anywhere. Like you can he's been reading Spider-Man. His first Spider-Man comic was Superior Spider-Man, because he's like, where should I start? And I was like, anything that sounds cool to you, just pick it up and read it, and you will find yourself having a great time. And he started with Superior Spider-Man. He's like, dude, this shit is dope. And I was like, I know. And then you go from there. He's like, what should I read next? And I was like, what do you want to read next? And I've been kind of helping him and giving him things. And now he's going off and he's finding stuff on his own. Like he's reading Nightwing, and that's what he's trying to make a video about, is Nightwing. And he's like, well, I want to read some other Nightwing before I talk about Nightwing, because all I've read is the Tom Taylor run. And I was like, that's where he was like, I don't want to piss comic fans off. I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. Comic fans are always pissed off. It doesn't matter. Like you're never going to find a comic fan that's like happy with the medium, like 100%. They're always pissed off. So
What's the channel so we can plug them? People can check it out.
That is my friend Campos Leg. Campos, CAMPOSLEG, Campos Leg. He's pretty big on TikTok, and he started off by just talking anime and manga news. And he has been trying to push his channel a little bit more. There's some other guys that I talk to about stuff, but I think most of them are doing manga and anime videos right now. But there's a lot of really great guys who are part of the trying to get into this stuff. But yeah, Campos is great.
Nice. So there you go. Go check out the channel. Whatever you do, you both put a lot of effort into it. Knowledge and non-spoiler reviews. Riley is number one person for my collection. Whatever your decision, we will follow you. Nice.
I also hope like the type of having started by doing comic stuff and then moving into the other side of things, that I brought people over the fence with me, who were already in my audience before I got bigger.
Yeah.
That's something I've been like hoping in the meantime, is like to see people saying like, oh, I read comic, or I've been reading comics, but like when you started talking more about manga, I got interested in it.
Yeah. Also, I don't compare it in the slightest, but from my experience, the algorithm typically does not favor channels that talk about totally different topics. I used to talk about anime, manga, and comics, and that's not good. So it's good to just lean on one thing that you like.
Yeah.
If you start doing both topics, it's going to split the audience, the algorithm apart. Something will get recommended, and the other thing won't.
At a certain point in a channel's existence, like just observing from here to like giants of the platform, you can start to do whatever the heck you want, and like you'll get the views because of the size of your platform naturally. But like until you get to that point, like there's kind of a threshold of like, I grinded, if that's the correct tense, I grinded for a while whenever I was unemployed, doing 2 to 3 videos a week. And then once I got to a certain point, and then also basically when I started working again, just 1 video a week. And I'm a little late this week because I'm waiting for approval, like final approval on a video. But yeah, like 1 video a week is keeping me at a good level. I'm really excited though for the next like few videos that I'm doing. I just need to get up off my ass and do them, because dude, like the freaking trip to and from Africa, like being in Africa was amazing, but to and from was absolutely terrible.
I can imagine.
Like, this is a tangent, like before we get into the solicit that I'm really excited about. the the way there was it was a long travel, but it was fine. It was smooth. There was no issues. Aside from like the days prior, like having to make sure that we tested negative and submitting that stuff because you literally cannot be let into Kenya. Like you can come into the country and they find out that you didn't get the proper paperwork to show that you don't have COVID. Like they put you in a mandatory quarantine for 2 weeks and you cannot leave your room. So we had to do all that. But once we like got on the way there, it was fine. It was smooth sailing. We got into the country, we got into Kenya and got to our place. But leaving was like nightmare. It was disastrous. We went to from where we were, we small plane over to the larger airport in Nairobi, and we had to wait there for about 4 hours before our flight, and we had to wait there for about an hour or two before we could even like check into the flight because we were so early because of when our plane was. And they like we get up to the counter for British Airways, and they're like, "You don't have tickets." And we're like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Yeah, you have tickets for the second leg of your trip from like London Heathrow back to Texas, but you don't have tickets for the first half of your trip." When I tell you, like, I got pissed.
Wow.
I don't get angry, but, like, my wife meticulously planned this, like, 6 months ago and constantly, like, working on this for the past 6 months. We knew there was no issues. I don't know, we still don't know what the hell happened, but the flights, the tickets got just canceled. The tickets themselves, the flight, was fine, but the tickets got canceled, and there's not
Wow.
enough they only do 1 flight per day. So if we
Hmm.
didn't get on that plane, we would have to wait a whole 'nother day before we
Damn.
could go. I like and she started to feel sick before this, and I had gotten up because she was sitting down and she's like, "Dude, I'm really, like, dehydrated. I need you to go get me some water." So I was like, "Okay." So I got up to go leave the airport to go grab a bottle of water from the little market outside, and when I was leaving and I'm asking someone, like, "How can I get out and get back in?" The guy was like, "Oh, well, the counter is gonna open in a minute here." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll just wait." Little did I know that, like, this was gonna happen, and so we go up there and doing the counter and stuff, and, the guy, says that, and she starts freaking out. She's already dehydrated, already feeling sick, she's freaking out,
Wow.
and I'm like I get mad at him, and I'm like, "Can you get her a damn bottle of water?" Like, she's like, I started getting pissed. I was like, "I need to get my wife a bottle of water. She's sick, like, she's about to pass out here, and you guys have lost our tickets. Like, I don't know what y'all have done, blah, 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 blah." I don't know whose fault it was. It probably wasn't that guy's fault, but I was pissed, and, like,
Yeah.
my wife was sitting here upset and sick and crying and stuff, and, like, yeah, so I had to go take care of that, and then, like, eventually they finally, like, they forced us into the flight, basically, um, and we got going, and, like, it was another issue, like, in the second leg. For some reason, I had a ticket, but then she still didn't have a ticket, and I had no energy at that point to be upset. Like, they just got it done for us, and then, when we there was one other thing I think that happened. There was, like, something where we couldn't eat at one of the airports because something, and then I don't know, there was a bunch of crap, and we finally got home, and now I'm still jet lagged, like, going to sleep at random hours and waking up at random hours, and I just haven't had the time because 'cause I'm trying to catch up with work and, like, haven't had the time to film, but I'm really excited because I'm I'm doing I've got the review for Deserter coming up, and I got approval to make the review video, not just a review of this book, but also like a part two for the discussion of like everything that Junji Ito has done. So I can update that video basically, making a part
Mhm.
two talking about what's in this book, as well as all the other releases that we've had by Ito since that. So I'm really happy that they're allowing me to do that since it is like a hired video that I was able to or that they're asking for, or a
Mhm.
commissioned video, I guess. Um, and I also like I wanted to not like step on anyone's toes about it. And I was like, can I mention that this is just straight up a reprint of the Dark Horse Long Hair in the Attic book? Because that's been out of print and like stupid expensive for a while, and I want to make sure people know. And they're like, go for it. So I was like, cool. So that's happening. I'm excited to get that
Nice.
one out at some point in like the next several days, week or so, and then more
I'm
of the stuff.
I'm mad because that book came out in December and
Frozen Geo 3.0.
I totally forgot. Yeah, sorry. I thought I was missing something on my little Ito cube, and then I realized, oh, I don't have Deserter. What the hell happened? I just totally
Yeah.
forgot and never ordered it on any Right Stuff or
Oh man,
IST or whatever. So now I need to get that.
it's good. There's some good stuff in here. It's like a lot of his earlier stories, and it's in
Simeon is asking about that book. Did they change the name of Deserter from Long Hair in the Attic?
Long Hair in the Attic is one of the stories in here.
Yeah.
And it literally, it's all of those early stories of his. It's in chronological order that that were in Dark Horse's Long Hair in the Attic collection. But their version of it, they've titled it Deserter, which is the last of the like 12 stories that are in the collection. So they just used a different title. I'm sure like they just couldn't use Long Hair in the Attic because of, you know, trademark and stuff, probably.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
but I was surprised that they were like cool with me mentioning another publisher.
Okay. Speaking of other publishers, let's do the
Yes, the
final
last.
reveal. Seven Seas is thrilled to announce the upcoming release of deluxe hardcover omnis for the manga series The Girl from the Other Side. Siuil, is that how you say it? Arun by
I don't know
Agave.
how to say that, but I do know how to
Yeah.
say the stuff in English.
This best-selling and critically acclaimed series is soon to be a feature-length anime, and now readers can experience the entire fantastical tale in stunning collector's hardcovers. In a world split between the inside and the outside, those living in both realms are told never to cross over to the other side, lest they be cursed. A young girl named Shiva lives on the other side in a vacant village with a demonic guardian known only as Teacher. Although the two are forbidden to touch, they seem to share a bond that transcends their disparate appearances. But when Shiva leaves Teacher's care to seek out her grandmother, the secret behind her mysterious living arrangement comes to light. Nagabe's haunting best-selling manga series has captivated critics and general audiences from its debut through its final volume, inspiring a huge crowdfunding success for a feature-length anime. Now get the entire manga tale bound up multiple volumes at a time in a series of 4 oversized hardcover omnis that include additional color inserts and gorgeous new cover art from creator Nagabe, made exclusively for these collector's editions. This re-release is sure to thrill, blah, blah, blah. Seven Seas will publish the entire manga series in 4 oversized omnis with the first omni contains volumes 1, 2, and 3 of the manga, and it will be released in June 2022 for a cover price of $43. And
Now
here are
you gotta
the
pull up those images of the covers
yeah, let me do
because
that.
those look good. And they gave us all 4 at once, like in the tweet that they did. They showed all
Mhm.
4 of them. These are freaking gorgeous. Like this is, I want more of this from Seven Seas. This is so impressive.
Yeah.
Um, so I looked into it. Each of the original volumes is $13 cover price, so you're paying an additional $4 over the cover price to have it in the oversized hardcover edition with the extras and stuff, which in my opinion is a fantastic price point. They didn't say what the trim size is yet, but I want to assume it's probably going to be close to those classic collection hardcovers of like Common Writer was the most recent one.
Mhm.
But these
Yeah.
look gorgeous.
Yeah, they specifically mentioned larger trim
Hmm. Frozen Geo again. These would look great if they had like the
size.
same. cloth bound type hardbacks as like I know this won't happen, but as like Hellboy library editions, like
Oh,
with
that'd be
the
fun. Yeah.
gilded embossing and stuff like that. Oh my god. This series, I don't have this series yet, but it has been on my list of stuff that I've wanted to get for a long time. And
Same.
so it always makes me really excited when something that I've been wanting to buy gets announced for a special release like this, because I'm like, ah, perfect. I can like pick up the big volume. If I enjoy it, awesome. If I don't, whatever, like I'll, sell it off and get something else. But I've only heard good things about this series.
Tolga, my dude, you made the ultimate sacrifice just when I finished buying all the volumes.
I've seen so many
Read them,
people make that
read
same
them, and
comment.
sell them.
I posted a video about it on my TikTok account, just saying like, about the release. I'm excited about it. And a lot of the comments were like either people like Tolga saying like, I just bought all the volumes, or like people saying, well, I'm glad I only have the first couple.
Yeah. I over here, I don't really have any place to shop for manga. The only place would be any local comic book shop, but they're far away and they're probably not. They probably don't care about manga aside from like the really popular Shonen Jump books. So that's a no. And the other route would be Walmart or Sam's Club. For some reason, they both carry manga from different publishers. And whenever I would visit my local Sam's Club to buy stuff, I would look over the book section and I'd always see the girl from the other side. And on many occasions, I picked up the book, and at the last minute, I'm like, no, I'm not going to get it now. So it's always been there in the back of my mind, like, this is something that I want to read and own. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited as well to get these omnibus editions.
I'm very excited that this is happening, but I'm very happy that more manga publishers are leaning towards making these like omnibus deluxe edition releases. I know a lot of like manga readers are not terribly fond of them because manga has for the most part been like a pocket-sized
Yeah.
format, digest-sized, easy.
The culture is not there for the deluxe treatment.
But
It's
it's
only
slowly coming.
yeah.
And
They're
I
not
think
used
like
to oversized hardcover and all that stuff.
I think like Dark Horse doing what they've been doing is really helping it. Kodansha with their hardcovers of like Alita and stuff like that, the Akira box set. These, you see it from like the Facebook groups and stuff like that with the Omnibus collectors. They A lot of people see like really pretty looking book and they just buy it like either way. And I think that that's really helping for the publishers to want to do more of these things. And a lot
Mhm.
of those people, like while there is a percentage of people that buy a pretty looking book and don't read it and it's just out of habit and whatever, a lot of them do read it, and it's bringing a lot more people over, to the other side of the fence, which is really cool. So I love that they're doing this. I love these types of things. Um, these great looking hardcover releases. Yeah, gold foil would be awesome. I At the very least, I don't think it's like 0% chance pretty much that it's gonna be cloth bound, but I think like it'll be like a regular hardcover, but it would
Yeah.
be great to see the embossing for all of that gold foil. And that, oh god, these could be like some of the best looking releases of 2022. Can you
Oh,
pull up
definitely. What was that?
some of the interior artwork?
Oh, yeah. Give me a second. Um, side. Let's see some interior artwork for the peeps. I guess I can share my screen here. It's unlike what you think of. This series has a very unique art style, in my opinion. Um, Oh, spoilers. You got 4 arrows in the back. Sorry, guys. Yeah. This almost has like a
It's like a fairy tale.
like French. Um, I don't like a lot of manga hardcovers. Annoying to handle, plus glue bindings. I'll stick to the singles unless this one is particularly nice. I think we'll win you over, lazy bum. We'll try. It's dark, but with some whimsy. Yeah.
I don't think they do
Fanfare, Hellboy
glue bindings.
Library, and Gold Foil would be gorgeous. Got to finish reading and sell my set to prepare for this. Hopefully, it is better than the embossing that the FMA hardcovers have on their spines. That will flake off. Really? They flake off? I had no idea. I don't own any of them.
This if this volume's anything to be an example like of the stitched binding that Seven Seas hardcovers have, like there shouldn't be like any issue.
I gotta say, that's a pretty thick book.
Yeah, this boy is real thick. This is like
Man, I almost pulled the trigger and got it, but I like Common Rider live action more than the manga. That's why I didn't get it.
850 plus pages. Also, any gold foiling, leafing, any of that, that'll rub off. Like that's not exclusive to those FMA. Like I've got one of the Berserk books, like the red is rubbed off a little bit. I've got like my Hellboy library editions, a couple of them. Like they're books, you read them, they have wear, it happens. You can wear gloves, I guess, when you read it and make sure nothing happens. But
You can wear gloves and put an over the head camera shot and film one of those ASMR unboxing videos. You'll get thousands of views, guaranteed.
we can do that with the ASMRBs.
Oh yeah, but we can't spoil it yet. We're working on something pretty funny for you guys. We'll see if it happens.
I thought that like Jess had mentioned it.
Uh, yeah, but we'll see if we can combine topics and make like a super episode for you
Okay.
guys.
Um,
Um,
yeah,
I
the
think
classic
Menzies does really
hardcover.
well with the manga, so I have no doubt they'll kill it. Yeah.
These are without a doubt, like for me, the best of the stuff that they put out. I've had my gripes with them in the past. A lot of it being like the stuff that they regularly publish, but also because their standard size of volumes is a smaller trim size than other stuff. I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
But they always put a lot of good work into these. My copy came a little bit damaged, but that's okay. I'm not that much of a stickler. I just pointed out just in case someone else like sees the little ding.
James asked earlier about my live stream tomorrow. No, that got canceled, and I actually filmed it. I need to finish editing the video, and I'm gonna upload it after I'm done here. So look forward to that. At least the first few volumes had that issue. I've seen the first 5 or so volumes with that. Wow, I had no idea. That sucks.
Someone on TikTok in a video where I showed this said something about like it's the One Punch Man spinoff for Moomin Rider.
Oh man, are you a big fan of Kamen Rider aside from the manga?
I grew up like with Power Rangers and stuff, but at the same time they did have there was like one Kamen Rider series growing up on Fox, and I watched that. Like I enjoyed the hell out of that. I had a couple of action figures from it as well, but I never had much more exposure to Kamen Rider. So I mostly wanted to get this though because it's Shotaro Ishinomori. So it's like it didn't matter what they put out. if it was Ishinomori, I was going to grab it. I think he has at least one other thing that they might put out, or that I
And
could see them.
the cool thing about Kamen Rider to me is that it's more of a multimedia project, because as soon as they started doing the show, he wrote the manga, and then
Yeah.
when the manga ended, he started working on more of the shows. I've only seen a handful episodes and stuff like that, but I do like ZO, the movie. I thought that was cool. So I'm waiting to get that, because supposedly we're going to get the Blu-ray this year from Media Blasters. So I hope that happens. That's why I didn't pick up the manga. Speaking of lack of reprints, Seven Seas has been notorious for that for years. Not a new occurrence for them. I remember emailing them about Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, because that's one of my most desired reprints ever. And they're like, "Yeah, no, it's out of print. Sorry." Like, thank you for that answer.
Wonder if they'll do the Kikaider, because he did a Android Kikaider, Shotaro Ishinomori. So I wonder if they'll also do that manga.
Shout Factory's putting out Kamen Rider 01 complete series on Blu-ray next week. I had it pre-ordered, but I had to cancel due to some stuff that happened. But maybe I'll pick it up later, at a later point. I have been reading Ajito Taniguchi's work, Azune Winter, A Distant Neighborhood, The Walking Man, etc. Absolutely loving it. Nice. They reprinted the Outer Planet High Rise Invasion books, which was a nice surprise. Nice. Yeah, so overall, I think Seven Seas is really they really turned the ship around by adding the different labels, the airprint and the ghost ship, and that I think has sort of helped them more like curate their selection of manga and their repertoire, if you will. It's a very different Seven Seas from a couple years ago, in my opinion, and I'm really excited to see what they do next. And supposedly we're going to get announcements every month, so I'm looking forward to February to see what they got.
So they do the surveys, and like the thing was on the page whenever you were looking at the new solicits, and I'm always like, did people really ask for like these whenever it was like basically every isekai under the sun and every like horny series you could think of? I'm like, how many people were really asking in like the light novels? Because some of the stuff I can see, like, people probably asking for Kamen Rider and being like, oh, you guys should put this in your classics. But like some of the stuff I was just like, come on. But I feel like they're moving towards like, and it's money. Like, I guarantee you it's, they've made more money enough that they can afford larger licenses.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that they can continue to do that and continue to move into that right direction, because it was like, I called it shotgun publishing, and it's what else it reminds me of is how many really just crappy games were on the PlayStation 1. Like, if you go through and look at a catalog of like every PlayStation 1 game, there were so many crappy licensed games that like no one cared about, but they existed. That's kind of like the way that I've seen a lot of Seven Seas, is like so many crappy things that like I'm like, how many people are really buying and reading this? Like, that you're publishing it. Like, every once in a while I find something that I'm like, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool.
Yeah.
I hope they do more third too.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Did you pick up the greatest hits, greatest cases, or whatever it's called, the greatest heist?
Yep. It came in while I was out of town, so I haven't. I'm really behind on reading right now because of that 2-week excursion.
I do want to check out a couple things though, like Box of Light sounds cool. Candy and Cigarettes is one that I'm looking forward to. That's really popular right now. Yeah, this you can see here, it's all over the place. Cube Arts, Cutie and the Beast, Cutie Honey a Go Go, Die Dark, Destiny Lovers, Devilman vs. Hades, Dinosaur Sanctuary, Dirty Pair, Dracula Everlasting. So yeah, it's a little bit all over the place. Edo Ninja Scrolls, Dungeon Toilet, Fire, Getter Robo Devolution. It's pretty wild. How far does
I
this
want
go?
I'd like to see them do more like deluxe editions similar to what they're doing with Girl from the Other Side.
Yeah.
I think that would be really neat to see, like for them to do more focus on that kind of thing for nice hardcovers for stuff outside of their classic line.
Oh, here's Spirit Circle. Yeah. Spirit Circle in a premium format. Yes, please. That's one of my favorites.
Hey, get some Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer in a premium format.
Yes, please. I need that. I refuse to look for it digitally. I want that freaking book physically. Oh, and they also have Tokyo Revengers coming out this year. That's pretty interesting.
And that one's oversized 2-in-1. There's a lot of that's going to be a attractive release as well.
Yeah. And I think it'll sell out pretty quickly. Witches comes out March, late March. I'm looking forward to that as well. There's a lot of cool stuff. The hell's Yokai Rental Shop? I'm gonna read this for later. Anyways, gang, before we wrap up, a couple more minutes, 2 or 3 more minutes. I want to give a shout out to our wonderful sponsor for making it happen. That is, of course, InStockTrades.com, your home for all things collected editions. We talked a lot about 7 Seas, and you can get their stuff at IST. If you don't want manga, you can also get omnis and hardcovers and trade paperbacks of your favorite comic book series, all that wonderful stuff, up to 50 to even 60 or even 65% off on weekly deals. $50 or more gets you free shipping. And if you order week by week, there's an extra 2% to that you can add to your discounts. Fantastic customer service and wonderful packaging only at InStockTrades.com, the official sponsor of Omnibros Live here on the Omnibus Collectors Network on good old YouTube.
I think they got Kamen Rider. I don't know if they still have it, but I know that they get those hardcovers whenever they come out from 7 Seas.
Yeah.
Because they don't get everything from 7 Seas, and that was one of the reasons I started shopping more at Right Stuff, was to get the 7 Seas books that I wanted. Because they weren't getting like Devilman. But there are 2 other Kamen Rider titles that Ishinomori worked on: Kamen Rider Black and Kamen Rider Zio. Black is 6 volumes and Zio is 1 volume. This is 4-in-1. Like, this is 4 volumes in one single hardcover. So I would imagine if they did do Kamen Rider Black, it'd probably be 2 thickies, not quite as thicky as this thicky, but like pretty thicky.
Here, final question of the night goes to N-Man. Do you have Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, Riley? I don't think I ever saw that in your collection.
I had volume 1 and I sold it, much to the dismay of Geo.
Yeah. Good luck finding those other volumes.
I think that was. I was like, man, this was years ago too, and I was like, oh man, like it's gonna be harder for me to get the rest of these volumes. So
I think
I didn't even want to try.
A bunch of them are like more than between $50 to $100, which is insane. When that thing cost $20 when it came out, each book. So no, I'm not gonna pay that. I'm good.
I would like
again. I mean, let me check real quick.
I would maybe maybe spend 30 a book. Like if it's a $20 volume manga, maybe do 30 a book. If it's like free shipping and stuff, I could talk myself into if I really wanted it. But $100 a book, no way.
There is, I think the last one you can probably still get for cheap, but most of them, let me check here on eBay. Oh, and I never finished my statement earlier. The only places I shop for manga are online, so I'm screwed on that end.
Oh,
Somebody's
yeah.
selling all of the volumes, the 2-in-1s, for $300 on eBay. Volume 1 is selling for 50. Volume 1, 2, 3, 4. Volume 4 is selling for 65. Volume 4 for 70. Somebody's asking $140 for just one book. This is all over the place. It's stupid. Yeah.
Well, maybe they do a hardcover. Either that or you just print it yourself.
Yeah.
I'm doing it myself.
Gotta learn the art of self-printing. We'll see about that. Simeon pre-ordered Witches. I need to get that. I'm super excited for that.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get that one.
Pluto reprints landed on Right Stuff and vaporized before I could buy them. Dude, that sucks.
You gotta get on that shit like immediately. I think they were on Amazon as well, but like I had them send me notifications for Komi, and I had them do Komi for me, and not Komi, Kaguya-sama. Sorry, Kaguya-sama Loves War, and like it was a volume that I forgot that I asked them to send me the email about, but I had already bought it, and so I got the email. I clicked through to see it, and it was in stock. And then literally like a few hours later, I checked again, and it was gone. I was like, damn,
Wow.
people buying this shit up super fast. So that's I set my notifications, I check them regularly, my email to make sure.
Yeah. Also, another website that you guys can check out is Book Outlet. They constantly have 7 Seas books for cheap. Like I'm talking like more than 50% discount on books that nobody wants. So that's a route. 900 for the first box set of One Piece on my local buy and sell. That is crazy. And those are coming. I don't understand the need to go crazy asking for that type of money because One Piece will forever be popular. They're going to reprint them. So I don't
That
get
one,
it.
like literally, I've seen people purchasing it recently, like
Yeah.
from primary retailers. Also, the fourth box set is like out. Some people have it, and it's not officially out until next month, but some people have it on hand. And I saw I saw someone like, you know how it comes with like an extra book, like all the box
Mhm.
sets come with something. The One Piece ones, the first three all came with a little extra book that had like chapters of material that are not in the volumes, um, like the crossovers and stuff. And so I was like, oh man, the fourth one, what is it gonna have? Is it gonna have like the Sanji chapters of the Food Wars crossover type thing? Or I was curious. And so I saw someone show what it was, and it's the cover stories of Jinbei. Like Jinbei's story from the covers of several of the chapters
Yeah.
compiled into a small book. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like that's it? Because I was like, I was sitting there like as the box set was getting closer, like twiddling my thumbs, like I want the extra book, but how do I get it? Um, and then when I found out that's what it was, I was like, there's no point in that. Like I don't need that. That's in my books. That's literally the
Yeah.
covers.
I've stated in the past I'm not a fan of the manga box sets unless they have like something really cool and extra to them. But for that and the flimsy little cardboard thingamajig, I'm like, nah, I'm good.
The
That's just
only
me.
good part is like if it's cheaper.
Yeah,
Because for instance, like I got the Bakuman and Rosario Vampire box sets, each of them for like less than $100. That's
that's
way
nice.
cheaper. Like that's
Yeah,
way cheaper than the individual volumes. So I was, totally on top of grabbing it that way. But I don't display them with the box. Like I don't display the boxes. The boxes are in that closet behind me. They're just sitting up at the closet on the top there because
yeah,
it's like I don't know. It doesn't really do it for me. I like to see the books. I like to see the spines. I like to be able to grab them and stuff. Even like Akira, like I have my volumes of Akira on my shelf, not in the box.
yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, gang. That's gonna be it for now because I gotta run. I got other stuff to do. Thank you to our wonderful sponsor, In Stock Trades, for making it happen. Thank you to all of you in the chat for chatting with us, asking us all valuable, important, awesome questions. And thank you to everybody watching at a later point in time. Leave your comments down below. Which one is your favorite out of the solicits that I highlighted? And just shoot us any questions or feedback or whatever in the comment section down below. Riley, where can people find you on the internet?
Omnibus Collector on YouTube and the TikTok, and also on the Instagram whenever I remember to post on there. Omni Collector and Twitter if I remember to post on there either. And then sometime this weekend, haven't discussed exactly with my wife when it's going to be, but we'll do the live celebration of 50,000 subscribers. And once again, like previous ones, I'm going to do at least one giveaway on that, but it'll just
Ooh.
be a nice hangout, a
So
nice
stay
good time.
tuned. Yeah. Stay tuned for
And
the
we're
community tab.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also like I'm celebrating 100,000 on TikTok because I also hit that like a few days ago. So it's a all around like celebration time for my stuff. So we'll be doing things. We'll be doing stuff. It's gonna be fun. Gio, what about you? Where are they finding you?
A Week in Geekdom, where I talk about anime and manga. That's my channel. Subscribe if you can. If not, it's all right. So that's it. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back Monday for Hall's Previews Reads, and then Wednesday for Media Talk, and then Thursday for a special show with Omnidog that may involve food. We'll see what happens.
Everyone
Uh,
loves the food shows.
yeah, apparently that's the thing now. So thank you, everybody. Stay safe. Catch you guys on the next stream.